The Galactic Transit Station orbited the neutral moon of Keras 7, a shimmering structure of crystalline alloys and energy fields that served as one of the busiest crossroads in the known galaxy. Thousands of vessels passed through its customs checkpoints daily: merchant freighters, diplomatic shuttles, pleasure cruisers, and the occasional military escort. The station operated under strict protocols established by the Galactic Council, and everyone knew the rules. Military vessels used designated lanes, civilian traffic used others, and never the two shall meet. Which was why Station Commander Velrax, a four-armed Xanthari with decades of experience, nearly choked on his morning stimulant when his sensors officer announced that a human warship had entered the civilian processing line. "Repeat that," Velrax demanded, his primary arms gripping his command console while his secondary arms gestured frantically at the holographic display. "Confirmed, Commander. UHS Indomitable, Dreadnought class, currently queued in civilian lane 7 between a Pleruvian passenger liner and a Veskari cargo hauler." The bridge fell silent. Everyone knew what human warships represented. Humanity had joined the Galactic Council only 2 centuries ago, and in that brief span, they had earned a reputation that made even the oldest warrior races uncomfortable. Humans didn't lose wars. They didn't retreat. They didn't surrender. And their warships were floating nightmares of kinetic weaponry, nuclear ordnance, and something the humans called spite-driven engineering. Velrax's communicator erupted with incoming transmissions. The Pleruvian liner captain was screaming about feeling unsafe. The Veskari hauler had already powered up emergency thrusters ready to flee. 3 other civilian vessels had filed immediate complaints with station authorities. "Get me a direct line to that warship, now." Aboard the UHS Indomitable, Captain Rose Chen sat in her command chair, reviewing a data pad with mild interest while her executive officer, Commander Alex Rodriguez, stood beside her with barely suppressed amusement. "Captain, we're receiving our 15th hail from Station Command," Alex reported, his dark eyes twinkling. "Commander Velrax sounds particularly distressed." Rose didn't look up from her data pad. "Let him wait. We're in the proper queue, aren't we?" "Technically, ma'am, yes. Civilian traffic lane 7 submitting proper customs documentation for non-military passage." "Then we have nothing to discuss yet." Rose finally glanced up, her sharp features softening with the hint of a smile. "How long until we reach the checkpoint?" "Approximately 47 minutes at current processing speed." "Excellent. That gives me time to finish these requisition reports." Alex leaned in slightly, lowering his voice. "Ma'am, you're enjoying this." "Commander Rodriguez, I have no idea what you mean." "We are simply following proper protocols." But the corner of her mouth twitched upward. The truth was somewhat more complicated. The Indomitable was indeed a warship, one of humanity's most powerful dreadnoughts, bristling with enough firepower to reduce a small moon to asteroids. But today she wasn't on a military mission. Rose and her crew were transporting a diplomatic courier to the Antares system, a routine assignment that technically qualified as civilian transport under Galactic Council regulations. When Rose had discovered this loophole 3 days ago, she'd made a decision. Human ships were always shunted to military lanes, subjected to invasive inspections, delays, and random security checks that seemed to happen every single time. The other races feared them, which meant they treated them as threats even during peaceful operations. Well, Rose had decided if they were going to follow the law exactly, they'd follow all of it. Station Commander Velrax finally got his connection to the human warship. "Captain Chen, this is Commander Velrax of Keras 7 Transit Station. You are causing significant disruption to civilian traffic patterns. I must insist that you redirect to military processing lane 3 immediately." Rose looked up at the view screen, where the 4-armed alien commander appeared to be approaching a stress-induced molt. "Commander Velrax, good morning. I'm afraid I don't understand the problem. We've submitted all proper civilian transit documentation. Our mission parameters qualify us for civilian processing under Section 47, Subsection 12 of the Galactic Transit Regulations." Velrax's face darkened to a deep purple. "You are a warship." "We are a vessel engaged in civilian diplomatic transport," Rose corrected pleasantly. "Our weapon systems are safe. Our military transponders are in standby mode, and we're carrying no combat troops or offensive materials. According to the regulations your council established, we have every right to use civilian lanes." "The other ships are frightened. Then perhaps they should examine their own prejudices, Alex interjected, stepping into view. We haven't threatened anyone, Commander. We're simply waiting our turn like everyone else. Behind Velrax, someone could be heard shouting about emergency council sessions. Another voice mentioned something about human loopholes and technical interpretations. Rose's expression remained calm and professional. Commander, I understand this is unusual, but humans are members of the Galactic Council. We deserve the same treatment as any other species. If the regulations say we can use civilian lanes when engaged in civilian operations, then that's what we'll do. Unless you'd like to formally state that human vessels are barred from civilian lanes regardless of mission parameters, it was a trap and Velrax knew it. If he officially barred human ships from civilian processing, he'd be admitting to species-based discrimination, which violated the Council's founding charter. The political fallout would be catastrophic. This is highly irregular, Velrax sputtered. So was subjecting our medical supply ships to 18-hour weapons inspections last month, Rose replied, her voice cooling slightly. So was the random boarding of our civilian merchant vessels 7 times in the past quarter. So was rerouting our diplomatic shuttle through a combat zone because the direct civilian route was mysteriously under maintenance. The bridge behind Velrax had gone very quiet. We're not trying to cause trouble. Commander, Alex added, his tone more diplomatic. We're trying to make a point. Humans follow the rules, all the rules, and we expect the same respect and treatment afforded to every other Council species. 47 minutes later, the Indomitable reached the customs checkpoint. The inspection team, a nervous collection of multi-species officials, came aboard and found exactly what Rose had promised. A warship configured for diplomatic transport, weapons safed, no military cargo, perfect documentation. They cleared the vessel in record time. As the Indomitable departed Karis 7 transit station, Rose stood at the forward viewport, watching the stars streak past as they entered hyperspace. Alex joined her, 2 cups of coffee in hand. You know the Council is going to rewrite those regulations within a week, he said, offering her a cup. Rose accepted it with a slight smile. Probably. But for one day we made them see us as something other than a threat. We're merchants, diplomats, explorers, just like everyone else. We only become the monster when we need to be. Think it'll change anything? Maybe not immediately, but every time we push back against their fear, we chip away at it a little. Eventually, they'll stop seeing the warship and start seeing the people inside it. She took a sip of coffee. Besides, did you see Velrax's face when we quoted Section 47, subsection 12? That alone was worth it. Alex laughed, and somewhere behind them the crew joined in. The Indomitable sailed on through the stars, a warship on a mission of peace, crewed by humans who refused to be defined by anyone's fear but their own determination to be better. And across the galaxy, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session to discuss clarifications to civilian transit regulations. While quietly acknowledging what they'd always known but rarely admitted, humans didn't just survive in the galaxy. They thrived by making everyone else follow their own rules. The end.